All right, Natalie. So the Dodgers, they did it again.
They keep doing it, man.
I know. They signed 23-year-old Roki Sasaki, who is one of the most coveted free agent pitchers on the market.
Yep.
Of course, coming from Japan, just 23 years old. But they signed him to a contract. They combined that with Tanner Scott, who is the most sought-after relief pitcher on the free agent market.
Yep.
You go earlier in free agency, they signed Blake Snell.
Yep.
Of course, you look at them as a whole. Blake Snell, Roki Sasaki, Teoscar Hernandez, Tanner Scott, Haesung Kim, all guys that they have signed. And now, with going back to the past offseason, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they signed, who rocky start to the season, picked it up at the end. They're coming off a World Series win.
Yeah.
It's just the Dodgers. They keep doing it.
They keep, and you know what? You name all those names, and then you take a look at how much money was spent. I mean, I can't even do the math quickly enough, but they are... It's just investment. When you talk business, the Dodgers are displaying exactly what the heck a business is. And it's great. Honestly, coming from an area of the world where people are constantly pressuring more investment in their team and their players. In the Boston Red Sox, it's like the Dodgers are doing exactly what fans are probably calling for. But
go all out. Find every avenue to get the best free agents.
And is that pushing the limits of the MLB? Is that pressuring other teams? Is that pressuring other ownerships? Like, I don't know. I mean, is it unfair what they're doing? Or, do you see this as just an internal business and what they're doing?
Right now on the books, they have over $1 billion in deferred money.
Yeah.
And the next closest are the Mets and actually the Red Sox, the only other teams that are above $100 million in deferred money. But think about it. They won the World Series in 2020. They obviously just won it in 2024. And this comes after they had all that deferred money for Shohei Ohtani, where he only counts $2.5 million against the books right now.
Yeah.
But when you go through the numbers, their payroll this season will actually be $312 million. That leads MLB. So they have the most deferred money in MLB. They also have the highest payroll this season in MLB.
Yeah.
It's just basically what they've been able to put together through the past two free agencies. Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Gonsolin, now Sasaki, and maybe Shohei Ohtani ends up becoming a pitcher, maybe let's say every 6-7 games at some point this upcoming season. And of course, they have Shohei, the best DH in baseball. They have Mookie Betts, one of the best players in baseball. Freddie Freeman, the best first baseman. Teoscar Hernandez, Will Smith, Tommy Edman, Max Muncy. The Dodgers, basically at this point, like you can divide that rotation roster and bullpen up into two separate teams.
You're right.
And they would still be like a playoff caliber team. They're like that regional high school you had growing up that like was so good. They would actually send their like B team to varsity tournaments and they would win.
Yeah.
That's what the Dodgers are at this point.
And it's like anybody who's not a Dodgers fan will look at this and roll their eyes because they're like, "Oh my God, how can you get any better? How could you continue to do this?" But like they have the money to do it. They're not afraid to do it. They're, rolling on a high streak right now, coming off of the World Series win.
And like you have to, it's these players take the deferred money, but they give a lot of guaranteed.
Yeah.
But it's also like the World Series matters.
Yes.
They're like, cool, I'll go to LA.
Right.
I'll play with the best player possibly ever to ever play in MLB. And I'm going to win a World Series, and I'm still going to get paid. I just got to wait on the payday. I would take it all. It makes sense.
And I like that. You were like, it's guaranteed, whatever you just said. I think that's important because it was like one of those things where it's like last season's Red Sox, people were feeling good about them, confident about them, and then they get hit with the injury bug, and it was just injury after injury. Being in Worcester, I saw so many rehabbers, and it was almost like, this is great for Worcester because we continue to win games. However, for the big league club, they're missing a lot of pieces. Yeah. So when you think about we talk about longevity again, that postseason run, it's like the Dodgers are solidifying it ahead of time. Insane. Just continuing to justify why they're a powerhouse.
They won the World Series in 5 games.
Yeah.
Like they took on the best team in the AL and they just beat them with no issue at all.
Yeah.
Just the lineup was ferocious, and their starting pitching wasn't even that good like when they got to the World Series.
Yeah.
It was patching it together, getting quality starts wherever they could find them. And even think of what they did in this offseason. Between like Blake Snell and Tanner Scott, I understand all the deferment money talk. Those guys still got a combined $81 million in guaranteed money. Yeah. Out of their possible max value of their contracts, it's $254 million they can earn combined. They got $81 million at signing. So, and with Tanner Scott as a relief pitcher, it's $21 million they gave him. And I said it what they have on the books. And it's how they assembled this team too, where now between Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Roki Sasaki, that is the top 3 of the 2023 World Baseball Classic rotation. Shohei hasn't pitched for the Dodgers yet. Maybe he will.
Right.
But no matter what Yamamoto can be and what Roki Sasaki can be, again, Sasaki's just 23 years old, where he has 3+ pitches. It's not like the fastball is his thing and then splitter and slider are just okay. No. Those are all plus pitches for him. He's 6'3", and what he can become, what he's projected as,
right,
is to possibly be an ace for ball clubs. And that's not thrown around a lot by Major League Baseball scouts and front office execs. But that's what comes with him. It just seems ridiculous that the Dodgers keep doing it, but they keep on doing it. And you go through their lineup, and it's basically they outside of like second base, it feels like they have a top 10, top 5 guy at every position throughout the lineup.
Right.
And at the top of their rotation between Snell and Glasnow, those are like top 10, top 15 guys for starting pitchers in MLB too.
Yeah, and then I think something you just mentioned, Yamamoto, Ohtani, and then Sasaki reunited. They were on Team Japan, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Think about that clubhouse. How much fun it is to be in that clubhouse, first of all, when you have so much success, but to bring old friends in and to people who speak the same language.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes for a really good team culture, too.
I can only imagine what it does for the Dodgers brand, too.
Yeah.
Because, again, and sports is business. You bring in those three, let alone you bring in Shohei Ohtani, but then you bring in a Yamamoto and Sasaki. If those guys even come close to living up to what their expectations are, the Dodgers, like, I bet if you travel to Japan, you're going to see LA Dodgers hats everywhere.
100%.
And that's the international business that comes with baseball as well. Japan's already a baseball crazed country. They love it. There's a reason where Sasaki comes from. The Nippon Baseball League, the Pond Baseball League is such a big deal.
Yeah.
So you combine that with these guys internationally being stars. I mean, that's where all of a sudden you can see a Dodgers influence internationally and just expands them to a global brand. So as they defer the money, they're going to see it where it's just like X times the amount that anyone would expect on what they can make in profits, because of it's bigger than being in LA, it's bigger than being in the US. It truly is an international market for this team now by building out this star-studded top of a rotation, you can say.
Right. It's kind of exciting. I don't know why I just thought about this, but 2028, the Olympics will be in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And they are bringing baseball back because that's something that the city of Los Angeles decided was beneficial to the Olympics here in the United States of America. If we're going to have it in LA, there's going to be baseball.
Yeah.
So to have a home team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, bringing in so many, let's say like international influences with these three, and then like, honestly, I'd even say some people over here on the East Coast are kind of Dodgers fans after Mookie Betts too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are still in support of him and like want him to do well with the team he's at currently. So I don't know. I think it's just a good reflection. They are just kind of like expanding themselves past state lines and I don't know, just building a case for themselves. I think it's kind of cool. I feel like there's a lot of following for the Dodgers for not just sport reasons, but personal reasons. And I don't know. I think it's cool.
Well, and it's just watching what Shohei can be. I mean, it's insane. He's one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
He is a top of the line starting pitcher. And then when he can't pitch because of Tommy John surgery, he's like, fine, I'm going to become the best base runner ever. Yeah. And I'm going to get into the 40-40, 50-50, whatever you name it, I'm going to do that. And that's what he accomplished this past season.
Right.
So it's, yes, the Dodgers do it by deferring over $1 billion, which is insane. The rest of Major League Baseball combined doesn't even come close to that number.
Yeah.
But they're doing it with the guaranteed money and the deferment, and they're just figuring this out. And that's a reflection. The president of baseball ops for them, Andrew Friedman, that's a guy that, I mean, just like you said, it's a start, Natalie. Whatever it takes, that's the mindset of this ball club.
Yeah.
And people have to love that. And I don't blame them. I would love it too if I was a fan of the Dodgers.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if Ohtani, so it says he's expected to take the mound again during the 2025 season.
We'll see when.
It's almost like, okay, what more can the Dodgers do?
Yeah.
They've already proven themselves in more ways than one. Ohtani's proven himself that if like one aspect of his game is out of commission, he's going to excel in the other. I mean, he's outstanding. 3rd MVP award last year. 38 doubles, 54 home runs, 130 RBIs, 59 stolen bases.
Yeah.
So I love watching him. I know people in the Red Sox organization who I work with also love watching Shohei Ohtani. It's hard not to like the guy, so I'd love to see how much he can push his limits if he gets back to pitching.
And just think about it again. You go through the top 3 of what their rotation is for now. It's Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto. And just imagine once every 7 games, you have Ohtani take the mound, and it gives your rotation a break, and it helps him get to the postseason. Or if he's good, you just ease him in, and then postseason baseball comes, and he could be that guy that just starts a game, gives the entire, basically rotation a rest, or it's just someone like a long-term out-getter, you can say, or a long-term relief pitcher, however it could be. And like Clayton Kershaw is still on the roster. If he can get healthy, and same thing, maybe he could be something as well. As someone that still wins. So look, they win it all in 2024, and what fans want to see is a team and ownership continue to triple, quadruple down on winning it all, that's what they did with this move. It's insane. They signed Sasaki. We don't know the full numbers yet.
Yeah.
And it's not the gaudiest number because they had to get him over from Japan. So it's more of that affects their international pool money. But it's what they did with the Tanner Scotts, the Blake Snells, Teoscar Hernandez, and of course going back to last offseason with Shohei Ohtani. When Mookie got his massive payday, over $300 million his contract, a lot of deferred money in that too, but a lot of guaranteed money. The Dodgers just do it time and time again.
And I'm excited to see how this season in its entirety plays out for the Dodgers, because I think if this is how the offseason went for them and they filter into a very successful, say they go on a postseason run, say there's another World Series win, this 100% has to put pressure on other ball clubs to do the same. Invest. And I think a lot of people are looking for, the Guardians to do that, the White Sox or the Cubs Cubs, Red Sox, all that. It's like it's going to put so much pressure on people to invest, to spend money on their teams, and to solidify a roster who they think is going to make them successful.
Yeah, I think Mets with Steve Cohen is putting pressure, especially like on the Yankees in their own city. But you would imagine when everyone does that, it's within the rules. They're finding a way, so it's how other teams can do it.